Hello everyone, my name is Sohee from Sohee High School, grade 2. Today I'm going to show you guys my daily life and my routines with specialties for surviving in an IB classes. In our curricular, mainly called as an IB Baccalaureate, it is an educational program for international students, including various subjects such as language and literature, history, economics, biology, physics, films, and more. And the good things about the program is that it allows every student to choose the subjects that they want to study. And during my blog videos, I'm going to films about my chosen classes and life as a post-on high school students. And the subjects that I'm going to pick are the language and literature, language acquisitions, which is English B, and economies, biology, theater, mathematics for projects and analysis. But today I'm going to take the theories of knowledge, economies, language acquisitions, which is also called as the English B, and the theater that I ask for permissions to my teachers. So I think I'm going to take the videos during the English B class, specialties, and there will be a scenes for self-studying time. So I will talk more about my skills and tips for surviving in an IB courses for my future post-on high school students who are freshmen. So alright, since I'm finished my introductions, let's dive into my life.
Hello everyone, my name is Sohyun from Busan High School. As Sohee said, I am also going to show you my daily life and film the IB classes I've chosen, and also interview some teachers about IB. Currently, I'm filming myself going to school since I'm the only student in the team who doesn't live in the dormitory. I thought it would be nice if I film my daily go to school routine as a non-dormitory student. Okay, so let's go. Okay, now we've arrived at my classroom, second grade, class 8. Let's wait for class to start. Today, I'm going to introduce you to my theater class, so stay tuned for it. See you there.
Right now, I'm in my class waiting for my English class to start, where we are now learning about the argumentative essay, and our class mostly focus on reading, speakings, and writings. We used to have those writing assessments for the various text types, including speech, blog, and email. Moreover, we actually have activities such as presentations about certain topics and reading various articles, including BBC, journals, or essays. This class could improve students' reading skills by analyzing the books called A Step from Heaven, which is the stories about the girl named Youngju who immigrated to the United States. Today, our class learns about the argumentative essay. Absolutely, I have told it before. And have you ever heard about it before? So, argumentative essay is a writing for the revealing to your ideas to the topic to be more for or against. So it is an essay for an objective opinions by supporting the evidence. The audience will be the formal who are knowledgeable about the topic. So in Korea, you could call it as 논설문. And in this essay, it will follow the structures of introductions, body, and conclusions, which are 서론, 본론, and 결론. In your introductions, you need to explain the basic concepts of the topics that you are going to talk about. The first sentence in the introduction is called a hook sentence, which is a sentence that catches the reader's attention. And this could be the forms of questions, facts, statistics, personal anecdote, or example. For examples, the essays that I'm working on this hook sentence saying that tourism is one of the most important and dynamic industries in the world. Moreover, we also need a thesis statements for the introductions. Thesis statements is a sentence that summarizes your stance or claim. This could include your evidence that you are going to talk about in your body paragraphs. For example, the thesis statements could be written like this. The tourism is significantly beneficial to the global societies when managed sustainably because it boosts the economies and promotes cultural exchange. For your body paragraphs, it needs to include the topic sentences, letting readers know about your topics for each paragraph in the bodies in sentences or one sentence, and supported by the relevant details, which could include the evidence, examples, statistics, personal experiences, or questions. In addition, the counter-arguments is needed. Since it is called as argumentative essay, it is needed to introduce about the opposing views or the ones that challenges your claim. This can use the words such as against, while it is true, although, though, etc. And it might actually strengthen your arguments by using the parts called in rebuttal. And this is the ones that negates the counterclaims, and it may increases the words like despite this, in spite of this, however, in fact, nevertheless, on the other hand, etc. Lastly, for the conclusions, it would summarize what you have said in your body paragraphs, strongly repeating your ideas with a topic sentence. If you have any questions about the writing, please let me know by using comments. Alright, so since I finished my class, let's look at this Sohyun's theater class. See you later!
Hey guys, now we're in theater class. For today's class, we're going to learn about preparing our external assessment task, the research presentation. These days in theater, we're researching world theater traditions that we haven't studied before. Each of us chooses one tradition, studies a specific performance convention from it, and then explores it both academically and practically. Later, we'll record a 15-minute presentation where we explain the radiation, demonstrate our practical exploration, and reflect on what we've learned about theater in the world. Right now, we're in the middle of our presentation in practice for Criterion A, the first part of our IB Theater external assessment. In this task, each of us selected a world theater tradition that we haven't studied before, researched one of its performance conventions, and explored it both academically and practically. Our class first focused on the research phase, where we examined several aspects of each tradition: its historical background, the cultural context in which it's developed, its performance space, and its audience relationship. Then we narrowed down our focus into a specific performance convention, something unique and recognizable that defines the theater style. In Kathakali, for example, this might include the exaggerated facial expressions called navarasas, or the symbol hand gestures known as mudras. After researching, we will move on to the practical exploration phase later on, which is Criterion B. Each student will apply their research by physically experimenting the chosen convention, practicing the gestures, voice work, movements, or posture that defines the style. This helped us understand not only the technical skills involved, but also the embodied meaning of performance, how emotions, symbols, and cultural values are communicated through the performer's body. Now, during our presentation, we are going to share both our research findings and our practical experiences. Each of us will give a 15-minute presentation that will include 3 key parts: explaining the theater tradition and the chosen performance convention, demonstrating the convention in practice, showing how it's used on stage, and lastly, reflecting on what we've learned about performance, cultural, and global theater making through this process. Through these processes, we're not only preparing for our final external assessment, but also learning how theater connects people across time and cultures. By studying and performing these traditions ourselves, we experience firsthand how theater functions as a universal language, one that expresses stories, emotions, and beliefs beyond words. What do you think about this external assessment? Do you have a favorite theater that you'd like to share? If you do, please share in the comments below. We'd really appreciate that. Yeah, bye.
Hi, Pony. I just wanted to ask you for questions about IB class. How does it differ from the original Korean class that you had last year?
Well, I think the IB process have more oriented and focused on the freedom of answering or the process of finding the answer. There's no restriction of your answer should be this. You can't touch this. You can't question about this. There's no idea.
Okay, nice. What is the best part of the IB program?
I think in like similar context, I think is the IB process highlights the importance of how to think, how to think, not the result. Of course, results are important too. It's important too, but I think their IB have more focused on how you get this answer by the how the method or how the logical thinking. I think and the way of thinking, and I think the TOK class theory of knowledge has good for students how to think about that. I think that's the best part of life.
Okay. So if you meet someone who are interested in IB programs, are you going to recommend them to?
Sure, unless him or her is very. I think IB is not easy track. It have very different from the outside loop and inside real IB process student. So for who interested in IB program, I want to say he should prepare well and do search information, and you have to prepare your mind because it is easily to handle by the people around you, like students who are not studying or it might happen, yeah. So I think the independence thing, I don't know the exact word, but you have to be more independent. We have to have a strong mind to keep and put that whole process for 2 years. It's like a marathon, not sprint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Alright, since we have the responses from Konu, let me just ask to the other students. So who's gonna be the next one for my interview? Kyogiwa. Okay, nice to meet you, Heiji. How are you?
It's good.
Okay, very good. So I just wanted to ask just a few questions. So how is it different from the original Korean English class that you had last year?
I think our classes are quite different from the regular Korean classes I had last year. So in Korean classes, we usually focus more on memorization and preparing for exams. But in IB, we have more discussions, projects, and critical thinking activities, and more speaking and listening. So I think the learning feels deeper and more connected to real life issues.
Great. So what do you think? What is the best part of IB program?
that the best part of the IB program is that it encourages us to think independently and express our own opinions. And I also like how we can explore different perspectives and connect subjects together, which makes studying more meaningful.
So if you meet someone who are interested in IB programs, are you going to recommend them to?
Yes, I would definitely recommend the IB program to someone who is interested. It can be challenging, but it really helps students grow as learners and prepares them well for the future.
Hi guys, now we are going to introduce our last classmates. So since she's studying here, so I'm going to just find out on here. So let's go. So can I give you an interview?
Okay, sure.
Okay, thank you. So let me just ask you very few questions about IB classes. So how is it different from the original Korean class that you had last year?
Honestly, I came to IB because I was really frustrated with Korean education system. Sure, it's good in terms of building up a huge amount of knowledge, but it's too much focus on memorization and make students compete with others, which was super stressful for me. I thought IB would be different, where we could constantly share ideas and build our curiosity together without that competitive pressure.
Okay. So what is the best part of IB program?
For me, the EE is honestly the highlight of the whole IB program. EE stands for Extended Essay, and it's basically where you pick a topic within a subject and spend 2 years writing a single thesis level paper on it. I feel like it's the final test of whether you really develop research and thinking skills that I expect. But honestly, it's also just really fun. I'm still in the research stage, but I'm so excited to start writing it.
Okay. So if you meet someone who are interested in IB programs, are you going to recommend them to?
Yes, really. If you're someone who wants to study not just for university or career, but really for yourself, because you want to understand the world better, I totally recommend IB. It's a program where you're always thinking, discussing, and communicating. It's not just good for college path. It's something that really helps you grow as a person. Since joining IB, I've been studying what I actually enjoy, and my quality of life has gone way up. Of course, the workload is crazy, but still, honestly, I'd recommend it to anyone.
Wow, okay. Thank you for your response and have a nice day. Bye.
Since we hear the opinions of students, how would it be different with teachers? Let me invite teacher Jong Hye-jin.
Okay, so thank you for interviewing me. Let me introduce myself. Hi guys, ladies and gentlemen. I am Jung Hye-jin of Busan High School. I am now teaching TP Economics to TP Year 1 students. I heard so you have some questions to me.
Yes.
As a teacher who starts to teach IB class this year, I realized some different things between IB class and non-IB class. First of all, IBPP has different testing system and scoring system. For Korean learners, they have goal to get good score on student tests. But for IB learners, of course, we have to get good score also, but we have internal assessment and external assessment at the end of PP Year 2. Of course, IB students and teachers also want to get higher score on IA and GPA. I personally think that IB style of testing system can make students get wider knowledge of specific subjects and students know how to study, real study in learning system. Next thing, as DP Econs teacher, I will answer especially on DP Econs. I'm now teaching students with this textbook. Students who learn DP Econs should research more about real-world examples. For example, when learning price elasticity, Sohee, did you remember we have to research price elasticity of tobacco in America when government raised indirect specific tax and calculate the price elasticity of tobacco. Did you remember it? Yes. Okay. Also about DP Econs, we have 9 key concepts of economics such as choice, efficiency, or intervention. During DP course, students can acquire connected knowledge among microeconomics, macroeconomics, and international economics. Plus, students who study econs ought to make some evaluation about specific topic on IA. So we are gonna finally know how to make my own evaluation, your own evaluation about that topic. Are you ready, Sohee? Yes, I will recommend teachers and students to take IBDP program course. For teachers, teaching IBDP course can be really challenging, but IBDP course is out of teaching by rote, just memorizing, just writing. It's not that kind of thing, and we can make students completely understood under less pressure of test. Also for students, running IBDP course can give them a wider point of view and prepare for a lifelong learner. Students who want to join IBDP course, we are always open to you guys, and we will look forward to meeting you as a student and junior next year. Haha!
Okay, now let's ask our questions to Shin Young-ho teacher, our IB coordinator of Busan High School. Good afternoon, teacher.
Good afternoon, students.
Okay, so the first question.
Now that you have spent second semester as an IB student, all of you might have realized that the self-management skill is quite important. There are lots of homework to do and lots of meetings to be done. In traditional CSAT style, there aren't many homeworks. All the things they need to do is to study so that they can get better grades in CSAT. But now that there are numerous tasks or homeworks, they need to think of what to do next and in what manner and with whom. During this course, I believe students can enhance their time management skill so that they can better organize their times after graduation. In university life, no one tells you what to do. You should manage your time by yourself. In that manner, an experience of learning IB will guide you how to manage your time and let you spend your time more efficiently after graduation. It's an extension from the second answer. If there's anyone who wants to build their self-management skill, and if there's anyone who wants to handle their time more efficiently, then they should choose an IB course. And also, if there are some students who want to go beyond university education, let's say if there are some students who want to be a, let's say, researcher or even professor, they need to know how to write a paper. As all of you know, in the DP program, there is a program called extended essay. So if a student learned how to write a thesis while preparing for their extended essay, then when they graduate from university and they want to go graduate schools, then they need to write thesis. At that moment, the experience of writing their own extended essay during their school life, in DP as a DP student, will help you guide you through your academic journey.
Thank you for your participation, Shin Young-ho teacher. It was a pleasure to interview you.
Okay, it was a pleasure to me too. Okay.
So for our last interview, let's welcome Jiyeon teacher, who teaches IB English from 3rd grade. Hello, Jiyeon teacher, how are you doing today?
Thank you for having me for this interview. Right now, I feel so hot because the air conditioner is not working, but I'm just feel so honored to be part of this interview. For sure, academic integrity is emphasized in IB, but aside from the academic growth, I do want to say you guys learn how important to live together. Because in English B, there is a chapter called Sharing the Planet. Did you remember? Yes. So like that, we are living in a community, so we should not like think selfishly, or we have to make decisions that can be beneficial for every one of us. So in IB classes, you should also think for your classmates first instead of like promoting your own benefits, right? So in a lot of team projects, especially the CAS projects like CAS activity, you guys can learn what is the best way to live together, maintaining the harmony all together. So I can actually observe that a lot of IB students tend to think kindly and try to be such a mindful student who tries to make people comfort each other. So at the end, this kind of personality can be the biggest competence when you go into the society after you graduate IB school. To say in such a realistic aspect, I think for students who are not really like fully confident in the Korean curriculum, like when studying and cramming for exam, but have enough active personality to participate in various team activities and presentations and a lot of like outdoor projects, would be the best one who can fully enjoy the whole curriculum of the IB. But I also think like if the students who wants to explore the different curriculum aside from the Korean existing one can be also like can experience the satisfying, the academic, the experience. So I highly recommend for most of the students who wants to seriously wants to improve one's personality and academic growth to just delve into this IB curriculum.
Yes, and thank you for your nice words, PN teacher, and thank you for your participation. It was an honor to interview you.
Also, I was so thankful when I heard that I can take part of this interview. I hope all the students in this team can flourish in this IB school till you graduate here. Thank you for watching this video.
Bye. Okay, right now I'm studying all of the subjects that I haven't done with, and I'm also doing the homework. I usually do my homeworks by using laptop because I actually have lots of homeworks by writing an essay or answering a few questions in a digital way. Since IB is an education system that contains many homeworks and assignments, so definitely you need to manage your time. So let me just tell you some kind of good tips for my time management. So for the time management, I guess using certain apps is really helpful. If someone asked me to recommend some apps for time management, I definitely recommend the To-Do Mate, which is the apps that could share your schedules, and you're actually going to be much more productive on it because people are already watching you that you are doing it or not. So yeah, I think it's definitely helpful. But if you actually doesn't like to share your schedule, that's also fine, because I'm going to recommend another app that's not going to be share all of your privacies and schedules, which is called Reminders. So reminders are not going to share all of your schedules, but they're going to be some kind of like a little bullet points on there. So you are also allowed to write or some kind of like homeworks that you have or the tasks that are coming up, and definitely you could also schedule the dates by using those calendar. As an IB student, I highly recommend to be productive, especially for the IB diploma program, because definitely, as you can see, there are really lots of homeworks and really lots of assignments that you need to done with, and the most important thing is that you need to submit it on time, on time. So don't be late on any assignments and do right away if you have some time for doing that. Also, I wanted to just explain a little bit more about the IB programs. So IB subjects, they are actually divided into two classes. The first is an HL class and SL class, which is the higher levels and standard level. And definitely, if you picked a certain subjects that are HL level, then definitely you need to spend a lot of more time on studying that. Definitely because you actually have lots of concepts and lots of things that you need to memorize, and you need to also be ready for the test. Moreover, most of the IB textbooks are written in originally English, so our textbooks is actually all about using the languages of English. So definitely, I really highly recommend you to memorize the vocabulary as much as possible and just focus on the English studies for the IB program. So since I talked about the disadvantages of having some IB programs, let me just tell you some kind of like strengths that these programs have. So IB program is really a nice choice if you wanted to go to the universities and abroad, because in the foreign countries, the IB programs are the most appreciated educational systems. Therefore, you could have some high possibility if you get some IB diploma. I forgot to say that all of the subjects need to be reviewed after you finish the class, because you actually have a high possibility to forget everything if you finish the class and take a moment of breaks. So definitely, I highly recommend you to review before you forget. Moreover, I actually asked some of the few students about the study tips that they have, and here it is. So when you actually wanted to take those physics or any mathematics class, definitely you need to solve many questions as possible. And for the physics, unfortunately, they actually have really a very few answer key. I don't know the reasons why, but they actually have no answer keys on it. So definitely you need to spend a lot of time on questions. So just have fun with it. Moreover, you need to be focused, even if it's just a self-study time, in order to do those homeworks and reviews and every steps that you need to do. You need to be finished on time, as I said it before. And that is kind of like a life routine now for me. If you have any comments or questions about our videos, or if are you going to be asking about those IB programs, definitely you have the opportunity to ask me or to the other members of our clubs to know further. Definitely, if you are really interested in, I hope you could leave some comments or even just send some messages, I don't know, maybe through those Instagram. So that way you could kind of contact us and get some feedbacks or informations. So I will leave the Instagram's accounts on the comments box. So if you have questions, just feel free to ask. And after these videos, there are going to be the interview with IB students and teachers. So just listen to them carefully and consider of maybe taking IB programs in the future. So this is actually the end of my study tips and all of the things about IB. So let me just focus on my study. going to finish very soon. So I hope you guys just remember all the tips that I already told to use, and I just wanted to wish you good luck with everything on your study.
Well, since I'm not a student who lives in the dormitory, school has ended for me. Yay! But that doesn't mean that my studies have ended though. We have a lot of homework in IB class, but before I introduce you to, well, me doing my homework, I have to go home first. I'll see you there. So now I have arrived at my house, and yeah, I'm going to start doing my homework. And today I'm going to have to write a joint report analyzing the film Castaway on the Moon for our Korean HL class. And our team members already finished their parts on their own session of the report. So today we are going to do a Zoom meeting to refine and make the report flow more smoothly. So let's start the grind, shall we?
Good morning, everyone. Is the next day already? And yesterday we shared what's the typical IB day looks like for us. For classes to self-studies and even some interviews with our classmates and teachers. This relax, I already wanted to share some of my personal tips and experiences so that the future IB students at Posan High School can feel more confident.
IB life can be very demanding, but it also gives us unique opportunities to learn, grow, and experience education in a very different way. So we hope this vlog gave you a clearer picture of what IB life at Posan High School looks like.
Thank you for so much for watching, and we hope this help future IB students to feel like little more prepared and inspired.
See you next time.
Bye.